Welcome, traveller. I'm so glad you're here. Take a deep breath and let the day slowly melt away. You've found a quiet place now, a soft, gentle space where you're the main character in every story. Tonight we will be travelling to Skyrim. So settle in, let your eyes grow heavy, and let's begin. The fire crackles gently as dawn spills through the shutters. Somewhere outside, a fox pads through fresh snow, leaving little paw prints in the frost. You stir beneath thick woolen blankets, half waking to the scent of pine, smoke, and something warm on the stove. It's hearth fire, the first month of autumn in Skyrim, and for once, the world isn't ending. You sit up slowly, bones still a little sore from your last adventure. Something about a cave full of necromancers. Or was it trolls? You've lost track. That was days ago. Here, in your little cabin on the edge of Falkreath Hold, you're not the Dragonborn. You're just you. You swing your feet to the wooden floor, cold even through your socks, and pad over to the kitchen nook. A small kettle waits patiently above the flames, humming with steam. You pour yourself a mug of snowberry tea, sweet and slightly tart, and let the warmth seep into your hands. Outside the window, the trees are painted gold and orange. A deer grazes just past the fence. Your cow, Bertha, snorts like she's offended at the lack of breakfast. You step outside with a fur-lined cloak pulled tight around your shoulders. The mountain air bites your cheeks, but the view makes up for it. Clear skies, throat of the world in the distance, and your own little garden tucked under a light dusting of frost. You toss some grain to the chickens and rub your old horse's nose. He huffs a cloud of steam and nuzzles your pocket. He knows about the apple you saved. Back inside, you light a candle and open your journal. No urgent quests today. No dragons, no Daedric princes, no ancient prophecies. Just one goal. Visit Riverwood, trade for some fresh bread, and stop by Olva's forge to see if he fixed your kettle lid. Maybe pick up some lavender from Camilla if she's in a chatty mood. You scribble it down like a to-do list. Feed Bertha. Ride to Riverwood. Lavender. Bread. Maybe a nap under the tree by the river. Sounds like a good day. You dress warmly, tuck a sweet roll into your satchel, and step out again into the world. Skyrim stretches before you, not as a battlefield, but as a quiet, breathing place, alive with small stories and soft moments. And as you mount your horse and turn toward the road, the world feels kind. For today, you're not saving it. You're just living in it. The trail winds gently through the forest, flanked by golden aspens and mossy pines. Your horse, old Branner, takes his time, snorting occasionally at squirrels and ignoring the icy puddles that line the path. You're in no hurry. On your right, the river babbles contentedly, its surface glittering in the morning sun. A salmon leaps, arcs and splashes, back with a joyful slap. You smile. Skyrim has a way of reminding you that not everything needs to be earned with steel and shouts. Some things, like this morning, are simply gifts. You pass a small stone shrine by the water, Kinnereth's symbol still adorned with faded wildflowers. You pause, dismount, and place a single snowberry sprig on the altar. Not for a blessing, just thanks. Back on the trail, the forest thins. Riverwood peeks through the trees, its smoke curling like lazy thoughts into the sky. You hitch Branner outside the Sleeping Giant Inn, and he immediately starts trying to eat the decorative ivy. You let him. He's earned it. Inside the inn, warmth hits you like a hug. The hearth is roaring, and the smell of honeyed mead clings to the air. Delphine nods from behind the counter. You nod back. Neither of you feels like talking. That's okay. You trade a few gold coins for a still warm loaf of bread and a small wedge of goat cheese wrapped in linen. As you're leaving, Orgna offers you a jar of pickled leeks. You accept politely, wondering if it's a gift or a challenge. You stop by the forge. Alva's face lights up when he sees you. Not with surprise, just the way a man greets a familiar friend. He hands over the repaired kettle lid and a small pouch of iron nails. You thank him, slipping him an extra coin. He tries to protest, but you just shrug and walk away. Before you leave Riverwood, you take a detour, down past the mill, past the tree stump where Fendel sometimes whittles arrows, and finally to your favourite spot. There, beneath the old tree by the riverbank, you sit. The water rushes past lazily. A dragonfly hovers near your boot unbothered. You stretch out on the grass, arms folded behind your head, bread beside you, pickled leeks untouched. And for a moment, just a moment, you close your eyes. The world keeps turning, the mountains breathe. The Nords argue in their longhouses, and somewhere, someone is probably shouting at a dragon. But not here, not now. You let out a long, contented sigh and whisper to no one. This is the real adventure. You're halfway back from Riverwood when you see him. An old man standing beside a crooked signpost, right where the trail splits toward Lake Ilinalta. He's draped in moss-coloured robes, and a lantern dangles from a crooked staff in his hand, even though the sun is still up. He looks up as you approach, eyes pale as moonlight, but kind. He speaks to you with a gentle voice. Well now, you're not in a hurry, that's rare. You smile. You weren't in a hurry until now. Something about him feels like a story waiting to be told. He taps the lantern gently, and it glows faintly green. I'm looking for a place, a very small place. Doesn't always like to be found. Thought you might help. You raise an eyebrow. The old man laughs. No dragons, no Daedra, just a lost glade. The lantern glade, they call it. Grows mushrooms that hum if you're quiet enough. They only bloom during hearthfire, and only if you bring the right offering. He hands you something wrapped in linen. It's warm. Smells faintly of cinnamon and moss. A sweet roll, but not just any. One baked on the night of the last full moon. You'll know where to go. Just listen. And with that, he turns and walks back into the woods, vanishing into the trees like he was never there. You stand alone at the crossroads, the wrapped sweet roll in your hand. You feel it then, not danger, not fear. Just a gentle pull, like a breeze guiding a leaf downstream. You mount Branner again and take the lake road. The sun is dipping low, the woods thicken. Somewhere ahead a soft chime sounds, like wind passing through glass bells. You follow it. Soon the path narrows to little more than a game trail. Fireflies hover like starlight trapped in branches. You dismount and continue on foot. And then, between two ancient trees, you see it. The lantern glade. Mushrooms glow in pale blue clusters. Ferns ripple gently, though there's no wind. In the centre stands a moss-covered altar made of old stone. You place the sweet roll on it carefully. For a moment, nothing. Then the air warms, the mushrooms pulse like tiny hearts, and in the silence you hear it, music, not from instruments, but from the glade itself. A low, resonant hum, peaceful and full of memory. It feels like standing inside a dream. You don't stay long, just enough to breathe it in, enough to know that it's real, enough to remember. When you step back into the forest, the path behind you has changed, the glade is gone, but the feeling remains. You ride home beneath a sky full of stars. Skyrim stretches wide and ancient around you, but tonight it feels small, close, familiar. And you've done something strange and wonderful. Just the kind of quest that doesn't make it into bard songs, but maybe it should. You return just as the moons begin to rise. Branner huffs as you lead him to the stable, giving your shoulder a nudge before settling down with a deep, satisfied grunt. The chickens are asleep. Bertha's already snoring loudly from her stall. You step into your little home, and it greets you like an old friend. You hang up your cloak, kick off your boots, and place the repaired kettle back where it belongs. Everything in its place again. You sit by the fire, the mug of tea you left still warm enough to sip. The room is quiet, filled only with the gentle tick of the wall clock and the soft purring of your old cat curled on the hearth rug. Then you see it. A letter. Unmarked, sealed with simple twine. Resting on the table by the window where there was nothing before. You raise an eyebrow, but curiosity wins. Inside is a single sheet of parchment. The writing is elegant, careful, inked in deep violet. You found the glade, not many do. That means something. Keep listening. We'll find you again when the snow comes. No name, no signature, just the faint scent of lavender and something older, like ancient trees after rain. You fold the letter and place it gently beside your journal. You don't need to understand it, not tonight. Tonight, you've had tea and bread and mystery. You've stood in a place most people never see, and returned with something quiet and invisible tucked beneath your ribs. Peace, wonder, a sense of being part of something strange and kind. You settle back into your chair, watching the fire dance. Somewhere beyond the hills, the world still turns. Dragons still fly, kings still fall, and war still waits on some distant horizon. But here, in your little cabin, In the deep woods of Falkreath, there is only the crackle of flame, the soft sigh of your breath, and the feeling that for once you're exactly where you're meant to be.